finally wrapped up. We're in it now. Mr. John, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
How was your week before we get into the E3-ness? Because we're not going to deviate at that point after.
Not bad. Been on the mend. A little under the weather, but
did you end up mastering those tracks?
I did, actually. My producer is going on tour. You should check him out at The Fuzz Wizards on Instagram. He will be launching on July 12th, I believe. A little promotion there for Vince.
Fuck off Windows.
But, yeah, I'm going to be releasing maybe August, September. Depends.
Cool.
You know, I'm going to work up some artwork. And yeah,
awesome.
Little dual EPs.
And I will help promote as needed, so I can help you on that. So we'll go there. All right, cool.
Air
cool.
punches.
We have Whataburger was recently bought by a Chicago law firm. So Whataburger is now a Chicago property, no longer a Texas native. So there's that.
Canada can't have that rivalry with In-N-Out anymore. That's kind of sad.
Nope. Chicago can though.
Yeah. I like Chi-Town.
It's like New York. Have you ever had New York branded Texas toast that's made in like Ohio? Like that? That's actually it. It's called, the brand is New York. The style is called Texas toast, and then if you look at the back where it's made, it's like another state, New Jersey, Ohio, whatever the fuck.
I'm gonna put that on r/brand new sentence.
So there's that. And of course, for those who kept correcting me on the last podcast because they didn't, and to be fair, I was wrong. It's Elden Ring. We called it Elden Ring like 12 times in a row.
Oh, we did, yeah. I saw that on here. I was like, it's Elden Ring. Oh, okay.
I shouldn't have said the KS part because now we're going to get flagged, but hopefully they don't hear it in the that I mumbled it. But, anyways.
We love life.
There you go. We're pro-life. And then, was that it? Yeah, that's it for the pre-news, unless you got anything else. I thought I had something to say. I do, but I'm just going to say it later because it has to do with one of the stories. I got some new kicks. That's it for me,
That's
actually.
what I was going to ask you about. Those look nice.
Hell yeah. Reebok's normally a brand I haven't give a fuck about in like ages, but these new ones are pretty slick. I like them.
No, I might invest. That's what I use for my gym shoes, Reeboks.
There you go.
They're comfy. Just busting through Dying Light. I will start Final Fantasy VII, I promise.
I haven't been playing many games except for the one I'm going to mention later. I need to get back into it. My Switch is actually collecting dust, which is odd because that thing was on fire for the longest time, as you know.
Life.
Yeah, that's true. Plus, it's going to collect dust when Judgment comes out. So there's
true. That. But yeah, that's it for me.
All right, so let's get into it. Spyro collection being announced for Switch.
Nice.
Very cool. Here's the one I really wanted that got announced, and I was so hyped because it got announced very whispery because like me and 12 other people give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Myst is the real Myst version of Myst is coming to Switch. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm one of those losers who think that game's fun, even though most like actually 99% of people I know think it's the most boring fucking game on earth. I like the atmosphere. I mean, I think it's fun to just roam around. Yeah. Honestly, it takes me forever to figure out the puzzles because they're hard. But it's a good game. I mean, it looks nice. It's pretty. If you don't like puzzles, obviously it's a shit game for them. But there you go.
Don't play it.
Exactly right. Before we get started on anything else, did you have anything in particular that you think I may not cover on the docket that happened at E3 that you really want to go ahead and kind of talk about real quick before we get into the fixed stuff?
What happened at E3? I mean, the Pokemon community is not too hyped about the lack
very good.
of
So
you're
going into stuff that I might not have. Stuff you might think I might not cover.
Big news. People still love Keanu this year. Cyberpunk looks great and hyped for it.
Okay, that's on the docket, though, so we'll go into that later.
What else?
Pokemon was it, though?
I'm trying to think what else I saw.
The Pokemon thing... Okay, so I had this conversation with a friend before.
Mm-hmm.
Was it really possible to have... And I mean all. When I say all, I don't mean all in the game, all in that generation, all in whatever.
Mm-hmm.
In which games... Or if it's easier to say the opposite, is it possible to have all, 800 Pokemon?
Going from what, Gen
6
on?
From
Gen 6,
green
I believe?
From green and red on.
Okay, you mean all for that generation or all?
No, all in total. So obviously what I really mean is,
so
by the time we got to X, by the time we got to whatever...
X and Y, yeah.
Was that the only one, or was that the last one where that was possible?
X and Y on.
X and Y on, right? Because of the bank, right?
Well, the bank, and then I think shit, is there enough boxes? I think it has to be with the bank, yeah.
It does have to be with the bank, yeah. I know that for a fact, because you can't
the decks
go to all the regions and the following games.
Well, it's not that, because you can import, you can trade.
Well, yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is, is there any game... Okay, for example, in Sun and Moon, I don't think it was possible to catch every Pokemon.
Oh, where you can catch them all.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. God,
because the only one I could think of was the one where you went with
Black and White.
Silver. Then? Oh, Black and White. You could go to the old regions, right?
Well, no.
Which one was the one where you can go back to the old regions? Oh, because I remember in Silver you could go back to Kanto, right?
Yeah, Gen 2, Kanto,
that's why I
and Johto
so
were
much.
connected. Yeah.
So I know for sure that one you could get all of them.
Crystal was my favorite until I figured out, like, last year you can't get Mareep in it, so, like, fuck that.
There you go.
Ampharos is my number one electric. But I'm pretty sure Black and White, correct me if I'm wrong, is the last one where you can actually catch every Pokemon in-game, not legendaries.
That's the... okay, fair enough. And that's the consensus I came to when I was telling my friend, because my friend is saying that it's... We may have just had a miscommunication, because kind of like right now we almost did. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so I guess what I'm going to summarize is obviously what I have heard a lot about, because I like Pokemon, I don't keep up with the news. Like, not closely. I hear about dumb shit like Pokemon Sleep, but when it comes to Sword and Shield... I hear people being upset about it, but it's not really the first time this has been a thing, so why is it a problem now?
Because they send it to a B team. Because Game Freak...
With that being said, this still isn't the first time you couldn't have all the Pokemon.
You mean catch all or our own? Like have
so from what I understand, from what the things I read were, is that you can import them all, but you can't use them all to fight.
Yeah, something like that. Like, they didn't render all the sprites.
So, for me, my whole thing is there's several previous games where you can't use all of them to fight anyways. You can't use all 800 whatever to fight. I can't think of a game where your party could literally consist of 6 of any of the 800, 900 Pokemon.
Yeah, last gen, no, up to Sun and Moon. I don't think Sun and Moon you could have.
Okay, maybe it's because this is the last two I played. Maybe that's what fucked with my memory. So maybe that's what.
But
it is.
X and Y, I had region-wide teams. Like I had every a team for every region, and then like every type, and like I went fucking nuts at X and Y. But yeah, that's the main gripe that I've been hearing is that they didn't take the time to make a complete game. Essentially, Game Freak's following the market trend,
right?
And what I read
they're not really though, because they're not selling half of the game. And I'm not even saying this jokingly.
Yeah.
They're not selling half of the game now, and the rest of the DLC.
Yeah, upload it later. Yeah,
so they're not really following the trend.
But everyone's kind of pissed because what I read is that they kicked it to a B team because they're working on a different project. And then the B team didn't take the time to...
I would have to put a Wikipedia citation needed for that, because I don't believe that.
I don't know who...
Why? Because I'm going to say this, and it should make it seem why that's such a stupid thing to say. Why would you give the biggest franchise you've ever worked on to a B team? That doesn't make any sense.
That was the thing. I don't think they would. This wasn't Twitter. This is Reddit. It's wrong. So, no, it wasn't Twitter. It was Reddit, so slightly like a modicum more credibility. Yeah, slightly more credible.
You can believe it's like George Bush to Trump. Like credible by a percentage. So
I'm taking it with a grain of salt in total.
We'll see, but if it's true, y'all tell us. But I don't think it's true.
I'm going to go on some sources. I have no sources to cite except a random user that claimed it was a translation from a Japanese user, but
those always go wrong. Oh man, there was an example last year where people mistranslated something so bad. Like, it was basically, this is for example, let's just say this is not, disclaimer, obviously what I'm about to say is not real, but it'd be like saying that someone read that, Terry Crews is in the new Pokemon because they read that from a Japanese thing, where when the Japanese thing that they ran through Google Translate instead of getting a real translator, what it really said is, I just saw the commercial of Old Spice with Terry Crews. I also played Pokemon that weekend, and then they translated that, you know what I'm saying? Like, so anyways, it's one of those things where people... Reddit, because you can use Google Translate, doesn't mean you understand Japanese.
Exactly.
So there's that. Anything else from E3 that you were really hyped about? Again, you won't think we'll be on the docket because we don't keep spoilering the docket.
Yeah, I know.
I know, I'm trying to make you be a psychic, but I'm just trying to say, you know me well enough where you should know what I probably put on there already.
No, yeah, I know.
And obviously, keep in mind where you're like, we're about to wrap up and you're like, he still didn't say the thing, then go ahead and butt in. But what I mean is, like, anything else you think that I didn't put? Obviously, I probably covered most of the thing we were going to talk about. But.
Yeah, I was going to say, nothing that's probably going to deviate too much from what we have planned.
Okay.
And then again, another good old 55-hour week, so I didn't really have too much time to
understandable
to keep up with it. Just that kind of came across my radar.
Yeah, and that's why I try to help you when we can. We had our little sit through of Reader's Digest E3. So
yeah, we do recaps when we must, but honestly, nothing else comes to mind. Just a little side note, super hype for Bloodstained in 2 days.
Hell yeah.
Very excited to play that.
Cool. All right. So, I'm sorry. I was just trying to put that aside so it is not obviously in my face. Even though people can't see me. But, okay. So, moving on. At E3, Xbox announced their final list of backwards compatible games, which I have in front of me. So, put the record down. I only have my phone out because I'm going to look at the list that's relevant to what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. The following games are going to be on the final list of what's going to be backwards compatible on the Xbox One, which can go all the way, for those of you who don't know, can go all the way back to 360 and OG Xbox. Mm-hmm. It's going to be Armed and Dangerous, Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb, Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, the first one, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Double Agent, Unreal Championship 2, The Lindari Conflict, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, Banjo-Tooie, Cameo Elements of Power, Perfect Dark Original, Perfect Dark Zero, Viva Pinata, Trouble in Paradise, Azura's Wrath, Battlefield 2, Modern Combat, Enchanted Arms, Enslaved Odyssey to the West, one of the most mediocre games ever made, Far Cry Classic, Far Cry Instincts Predator, Infinite Undiscovery, Peter Jackson's King Kong the Movie, the official game, Prince of Persia, The Forgotten Sands, Skate, Star Ocean, The Last Hope, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Syndicate, 2 Human, Unreal Tournament 3. The reason I paused on 2 Human is 2 Human is Big Trash Fire, right? Not just is it that, it's illegal for the game to be sold now. So it's interesting how, if you own the copy already, obviously that's not illegal, but it's illegal for the game to be distributed now. With that being the case...
What was the legal bullshit behind that?
The game was a lie. It was Anthem. It was Fallout 76. It was the trendsetter. But what do you call it? So yeah, so obviously if you have an existing copy, you can play it, which is an interesting choice to throw on that because technically they shouldn't let that be the case, but that's weird. Anyways, so yeah, that's it. Pretty big list for the final seeing, especially I'm always bragging about Chaos Theory being the best looking end of generation game ever, and I still stick to that, so nice to see it survive yet another generation.
I like to survive.
So there's that. It's fine. Some people like that terrible game.
No, I played it and I was like, why? I just button mashing the whole time.
Going on with the relevance of this list and report is that Project Scarlet is confirmed to be fully backwards compatible, which Xbox is now stepping forth. Whereas PlayStation has confirmed that it will only be the PS5 rather will only be compatible with PS4. Xbox Project Scarlet, whatever the official name will be compatible with Xbox One, Xbox 360, and OG Xbox games all the way back. Nice. So there you go again.
Call it the 720, Microsoft. I dare you.
What happened?
Call it the 720. I want to know.
No, they can't do that anymore because they skipped that already. They already missed that. That train already left.
That's what I'm saying. Just fucking do it. Just be that guy. Embrace the meme.
There you go. Witcher 3 is going to be ported to the Switch, which was one of the things was on my wish list of stuff that's never going to happen.
CD Projekt said
because it shouldn't be possible. So they're doing several impossible things. Now, it will run on 540p on handheld, which is sub HD, but way above standard definition. So it's kind of a weird hybrid in between. It will use dynamic scaling, of course, so when it does need to drop, so the frame rate doesn't eat shit, it'll do so. Yeah. And then docked, it will run at 720p, which is still impressive. It will hit HD on dock, which is really interesting. Now, of course, the 540p will be beneficial to the Switch because of the fact that the screen's so small, the pixel density will still make it look good. You're just going to have less field of view, less draw distance, so on and so forth, stuff that just has to be the case. Mm-hmm. And CD Projekt Red, although addressed at E3 multiple times as CD Projekt Red, is going to all fit on a single cartridge. That was one of the things that was wondering where, okay, The Witcher was impossible to be on the Switch. Now it is. How many cartridges?
Yeah.
One.
Jesus.
Which makes me wonder how much space is on that fucking thing, because The Witcher itself took up a hefty amount of the Blu-ray, the original version. So The cartridges must have a lot on there.
This isn't Blood and Wine or any of the expansions, right? This is just...
No, it's all of it.
What the fuck?
It's the entire game on the cartridge.
Jesus.
So there's that. Yeah, but as Wooly liked it to point out, CD Projekt Red, as now christened by E3 at how you say it, is there now.
Who was stressing
CD Projekt
that?
Red.
Who was it? Was
people,
it one of their
including people who work at CD Projekt Red.
Okay, whatever.
So now it's CD Projekt Red.
I guess.
Doom Eternal, of course, appearing again.
Super
looks
high.
good.
Yeah.
There's really not much to say about Doom Eternal because it looks like more of the same, and that's absolutely a good thing. Because Doom 2016, it was great.
Doom side, no reloading.
Yep,
I mean,
good stuff.
I have nothing negative to say about that game.
There you go. Okay, we saw a trailer for Watchdogs Legion that fleshed out to see if the idea we heard from the rumors and the fuck the listing on Amazon UK was true. It seems like it. So, I think it was on Jimquisition where they made a really good point. I forgot which one of them did it, but they made an interesting point where they said that it's probably going to be the case where you really can play as any NPC, but it's going to be like the backstories in the original Watch Dogs and Watch Dogs 2 where you can just profile them and be like, teacher... we're blah blah blah.
Convicted felon.
They're probably gonna have maybe 5 voice actors doing 100 voices and then mix it out there. I think it'll be pretty diverse.
Yeah.
It seems like that's the goal, and I hope it's true. It seems like an interesting concept. As everyone knows, I'm not the biggest fan of Watch Dogs. John likes Watch Dogs 1 a little more than Watch Dogs 2, or a bit more, whatever. And then, of course, this one. It's nice to see them try something different while not entirely abandoning the franchise. Because, again... Even though I'm not a fan of the series at all, I always hammer home that I've always found the premise interesting.
Yeah.
Stupid tech is kind of cool. Like the dumb future tech that makes no sense as a tech head. It's kind of cool sometimes when they use it in an interesting narrative sense.
You can't do that with your phone?
Right there,
no?
so.
I just want to throw a milkshake at Farrage's house, flat, however you say that in, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yep, there's that. Gods and Monsters we got to see a very short clip of. From the studio that worked on Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Now, there's a few people who will ignorantly blurt out, oh, you mean Assassin's Creed in general? No. The team that worked on Assassin's Creed Odyssey is a completely different team that worked on any of the other ones. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, it looks interesting, even though all you saw was a clip of Greek. Whatever the fuck she was.
She looks like an Athenian
lady. And then you see the thing. And
see a little Gorgon scrolling by in the background.
And then it cuts off. So very vague trailer. Obviously no gameplay, so can't get too hyped yet. But it looks good. Yeah, the trailer at least ran in 60 frames, so we'll see.
I like Greco-Roman shit, so that's up my alley.
Yep, good stuff. We got to see more Final Fantasy VII Remake footage. Looks great.
God damn,
so a few developments have kind of happened. The doubt and criticisms of FF7 Remake, including my own, have just started to get slapped away and dismissed, and I'm really proud to be wrong in several aspects. So... At first, when the project was originally announced, Square Enix did mention that it was going to be episodic. That's been a thing. Then recently they confirmed that it is still true, it's going to be episodic. However, the original plan was about 3 parts. Not too bad. 3 discs, 3 parts, whatever.
Yeah.
Which made a lot of people, including myself and Jim, on totally separate opinions but matching opinions, that they must be skipping a shitload of the story because, it looks too graphically intense. There's no way they're going to do all 60 hours if you do everything in the game. 60, 80 hours if you do everything in the game. With those graphics. No way. Now that they've shown that episode 1 is only going to take place in Midgar, which, light spoiler, Midgar is like if you just did of course you're expanding an 8-hour game versus a 60-hour game, but you'll get what I mean by the compression. Midgar is just the first ship in Halo. When you first fire up Halo and you're in the ship. And
Holy
you get out
shit.
there, that's Midgar.
God damn.
So if you stretch an 88-hour game into a 60-hour game. So that's going to be episode 1, which now is leading a lot of people to believe that they want to do this episodic because they do want to do the whole game without making you wait until 2030 to play it. So now it may take till 2030 to finish, but now they're going to crank out and if they put it on every quarter, and they drop an episode every quarter, I'd be okay with that because I want to play this again. And if they're really going to do that fleshed out, like GTA Midgar, like that, what massive of a thing, Midgar is a really cool. I mean, it's a shitty city to live in if you were in the actual game world, but it's a cool nostalgic world because you went around to the different the bars and the clubs and stuff. It was cool. Yeah. So it'll be very interesting to see because it really seems like they're going to try their best to do a fleshed out Final Fantasy VII. So it'll be interesting. The other thing. The combat system, of course, as we all could have guessed, was basically based on Kingdom Hearts / Final Fantasy 15. It is the team that did Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be doing the combat in this one. Mm-hmm. No surprise. The thing that a lot of people are griping about, it's not on the ATB time active battle system anymore, that all the classic Final Fantasies are known to be on turn-based. To put in layman's term, turn-based. I'm sorry, and I've already voiced this opinion before, and I'm glad that Plague did too, is that who cares? Fuck it. I'm sorry, but like during my playthrough right now, one of the most frustrating... Yes, it's classic. I understand I enjoyed it back then. But one of the most frustrating things during my playthrough right now is a goddamn time turn-based combat. Mm-hmm. Especially after playing 15, which it may be more brainless, but it was just fun. It was more fun. Like, so fuck it, Another thing I am glad is that they finally did reveal Tifa at E3, and thank God they did not give her Advent Children or, they gave her what people expect when they think of Tifa, which is great. I'm really happy that everyone so far in the game looks like their Final Fantasy VII counterparts and not Advent Children. That's another thing I was worried they were going to do is the movie versions where everyone's a lot more... I don't like the way they look. They look so rough in the original Final Fantasy VII. Like Cloud just has like a metal shoulder plate and a purple spandex. In Advent Children, which is the Final Fantasy VII movie, for those who don't know, he has like a very elegant looking. They all look like Hot Topic basically. It's like really really elaborate gothy looking costumes, kind of. Uh-huh. Not entirely. Goths are going to be like, nah, it's not goth, but Hot Topic goth. Looks basically.
Those 5 goths.
So it's nice to see that they're going to really stick to Final Fantasy VII, and it seems like they're really going to try to as best as possible. And here's what I'm going to say as a fan of that game is that if they can really take that interesting story, a bit convoluted, but not as bad as Kingdom Hearts in convolution, but and make it with these graphics, they really might be able to carry this that story that I did enjoy to this generation who might be blindsided by graphical snobbiness. It'd be interesting to see people who might, not want to go back to Final Fantasy VII because it looks like Final Fantasy VII, and actually not be blinded by that and actually enjoy the story, not just because the graphics are bad. So if they go that route, it'll be really, really interesting. So I'm very excited for that.
Indeed, I might even hold off my playthrough if they give it that kind of treatment. I
would no. You're going to still want to play it. It's the original version is just. It's so good. You're so good.
So good.
You're gonna want to do that. So, what is your exact experience with the Final Fantasy world in general?
Let's see. I played 10 up to the point where you gather your party and you are on a boat and Sin's like a big whale in the ocean trying to attack you.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember it very distinctly because I was like, fuck, I don't know what to do. This is kind of hard. I'm kind of dumb at this game. And then I stopped playing it. And then I've seen someone play Final Fantasy IX. And then I played, I think, a demo of 13. That's the one with Lightning, the girl?
Yes, correct.
That's it.
Okay, so...
on one hand, yeah, there you
please play Final Fantasy VII. I would really love to do a special cast with you on that one.
No, it's cool. I like the story. Avalanche seems cool. Like, I want to get an Avalanche t-shirt just to rock
Here's
around.
what I'm going to say as a light spoiler, is that all you know so far is absolutely accurate. When you had that conversation with me earlier, is this what it's about?
Yeah.
That's what it's about in the prologue, essentially. All that's just prologue. Everything you know is just prologue.
Okay.
So
okay, cool.
It gets really in there. And
I can dig you down with that.
Yep. And of course, I was very excited. Final Fantasy VIII Remastered.
That's what I hear a lot
about. People crying about fucking it's not a full remake. Well, fucking, they're not going to do a full remake at the exact same time as 7. Not to mention 8 didn't put up any close to the numbers that 7 did. You don't want to be the game that came after Final Fantasy VII. That's all it is. It's like you don't want to be the fucking... What was the... Was Halo 4 bad or Halo 3 bad?
Neither. Halo 5 is
Halo 5 is the bad one? Okay.
ODST, I guess.
So if
let's use that. So you don't want to be Halo ODST.
Exactly.
Halo 3 is fucking great.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So that's what you don't want to be. But at the same time, though, really cool that it's getting the treatment. Like I had mentioned before, several other people, of course, have the same theory that assets were lost, and that's why it was never really ported to future consoles other than the one PC port that came out a long time ago. But nice to see that it looks like they redid some of it. It looks very sharp and clean for HD, so very excited to see that.
I actually like those DMC1 graphics.
You got that, exactly. We also saw Outriders, which I have no idea what it's about still. I just saw the trailer.
Looks cool as fuck. Like, damn. I'm really about that.
It looks
action
interesting,
shooter, I guess. I don't know.
Except for the fact that they just kept showing that chick staring at the screen like 12 times.
I'm a big fan of Furiosa over here. Yeah.
Yes, we get it. Captain Marvel Furiosa. We saw it already.
Well, careful, bro.
That's literally what she looks like.
I know. Buzz cut military sci-fi shooter chick.
Exactly.
Jane Lynch in fucking Wreck-It Ralph.
Basically. We have No More Heroes 3. Suda did mention, we mentioned this several times on the podcast, that Suda said there was going to be a big announcement at another conference as well as E3. And guess what? No More Heroes 3 is finally a thing. The shitty spin-off game, Travis Strikes Back, can finally go to hell. Even though they're going to be porting it to PC and PS4, because for some reason they want them to suffer too.
Give me a remaster of the original, or just port the original.
Well, you can just play it on Xbox 360.
Was it on 360? Oh, I thought it was a... No, I'm
I mean, Xbox One, rather, with the 360 disc.
Yeah.
So there's that. But yeah, it looks good. Looks like No More Heroes, so I'm excited.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Can't wait to see more of it. Astral Chain, of course, Platinum Games making their presence there. They did have another game they said they were working on, but it had zero presence, so I guess it's either not a thing anymore or is so early in development there's no point. But Astral Chain's about to come out in August. That looks really hype. I'm excited for that. Of course, you have Keanu. That's fine. But the one that won people's hearts above Keanu for most of the... Keanu won the hearts of your sister who played Tetris once in high school and was watching E3 with you. That's who got hyped about Keanu. The actual people who like to play actual video games got hyped when... what do you call it? Oh my god, I got blinded by my notes for a second. I said, what am I reading? When Ikumi Nakamura came out for the first time. She's been a big presence in the game community off stage. That was her first time ever appearing on stage, but she's best known as the art director for Okami and Bayonetta, which are considered two of the most stylish games of all times. I heard, but this I had to still confirm and do some research. Eventually I'll get back to you guys on that. But supposedly she is either a big part or the one who designed Bayonetta, period. So, you know, kudos to her. She obviously has a good vision. Okami is one of the best looking games of all time, which is why it keeps getting a port over and over and over again. Yep. It was a pretty vague trailer, though. People disappearing.
Ghostwire?
Lots of the classic... it looked like... Ghostwire, sorry. I didn't get in there. Excuse me. Yeah, Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah.
Ghostwire Tokyo was the game that she went out to present. Shinji Mikami started it, and then she kind of carried it on. Shinji Mikami, of course, does great work at Platinum, as well as his own studios with Tango Games, which is where she works too now. He took her with him and took several good Platinum. Not in a bad way, but... took some of his Legion with him from Platinum and did good stuff. You know, Evil Within was Evil Within 2 was great. It's a shame most people didn't play it because Evil 1 was so bad that people just didn't want to give 2 a chance, but 2 is great.
Really?
So,
because I played the first one, and I mean, it's not bad. It's just kind of bland. It's
yeah, it is.
Like,
it has several frustrating, not good. It has the difficult, but not in a good way kind of stuff.
Cuphead bullshit.
But anyways, 2 is great, and so Ghostwire Tokyo should be pretty good. Looks interesting at the very least. You have modern present day Tokyo with the people disappearing, but you have ancient / classic Japanese mythos coming out, like the Oni mask and the grudge chick and all that stuff. So interesting. We'll see what it ends up being. She kind of explained it a little bit. It seems like there is going to be quite an open world to explore a bit. That there is detective elements. It seems like there's going to be good and bad ghosts. It's going to be other people to interact. It seems like it should be a pretty deep game. So I can't wait to see some actual gameplay. One of the biggest things that plagued E3, as it always does, is mostly pre-rendered nonsense, which I'm going to really egg on one of the games in our docket for being nothing but bullshit. But not just that, but also lying. And we're going to get there in a little bit.
Ooh, Todd? No.
No, it actually wasn't on Bethesda's thing. It was on Square Enix's thing. Ooh. But, so, Deathloop.
Oh, yeah, that super style, like, semi-blaxploitation-ish.
Yeah, a little bit blaxploitation. So, it looks interesting. I didn't think I was going to like it when I... now, the premise itself I've always found fascinating. I think death looping stuff is always interesting. You die... Groundhog Day...
Edge of Tomorrow?
Edge of Tomorrow.
That was actually
stuff
good.
Like that.
Yeah,
I've always found that premise interesting. It's been done wrong many times. It's done great many times. We'll see in this one, because there's not too many... The thing I like about it is that it keeps your deaths canon, essentially.
Yeah.
When you die in that game, it really happened because, she
slashes him and he learns.
Jim played a really bad FMV game of like real life, bad acting people made in like 2010 or later, like really, really bad. It's supposed to be intentionally, ironically bad. Like, anyways. But one cool thing it did do, and he did give it kudos for this, and I thought it was actually surprisingly neat for such a horseshit game, was that when you would die, for example, there's a part where you save your girlfriend, and she goes to take a shower, so you're supposed to guard the door. You can either just wait outside and obviously just wait till she gets done, or you can go inside and take a peek. If you go inside and take a peek, she kills you, and anytime you die in that game and you reload, he mentions what just happened when he died. So it'll be the same scene again that happened before that, where he goes up to her and he goes, "Oh my god, we ran away. The zombies were there, and then I got here, and then you went to go take a shower, and I went in the shower and killed you," which he didn't say the first time, but he said it because you died and then reloaded and played it again.
Why did she kill him though?
I don't know.
That
was the most off-point question that there ever was. But anyway,
this does seem interesting. I'm curious to see what the narrative's about. Like, why you're on this island? Mm-hmm. Why is time stuck in this loop? Why are you trying to kill each other? Why is she
defending it? Because she wants it to continue, and you want it to stop because you want to get the fuck out.
Is that really Lee?
I know. It did sound like him, I gotta say.
Like Lee,
I really hope, to our audience who might think that not all black people sound the same, that's not what we're saying. We really do think he sounds like Lee. If we're wrong, and if we're deaf, sorry, but it sounds like him.
Yeah, I mean, if it is Lee, cool. I like Lee. He's a great character. Maybe you like that series.
Yep, so it should be good. Wolfenstein Youngblood having another trailer. Now,
oh, it's so cheeky.
Here's the thing about it, and again, I'm gonna dick ride Jim. I am still excited for the game. It looks fun. I like the way the co-op works. I like the fact that I can take care of a whole different section. It's almost like its own run, and you can do your own thing. Then we meet up and all that stuff. That looks great. The game itself, in essence, looks fun.
Yeah.
The thing that both turned him and me off to the demo, the trailer of it, was the overuse of Nazi, kill Nazi, kill Nazi, kill Nazi. It's way past 2012 when saying kill Nazi on Twitter was cool.
Yeah.
And we get it. Kill all the Nazis. That's fine. We're not defending Nazis. What we're saying
Nazis,
is the over-pandering of the trailer to be like, rally up the SJWs! Let's get the SJWs to kill Trump and kill all of the Nazis! And stuff like that. It's like, okay, tone it down.
We get it.
Like, say it the first time when the lady went up to her and said, we needed 2 people that were good at killing Nazis. Cool.
That's
the opening of the trailer makes sense. They really are going to go kill Nazis. But the constant, fuck you, Nazi, kaplow, Nazi trash, bam, come on, Nazi. Yes, they're Nazis. That would have been like if fucking, in Shadow of Mordor, the guy kept going around and every time he slashed his sword was just like, orc, come on, orc. Die, you goddamn orc! Orc, I will throw you, orc! Orc, you're getting in my way, orc. I cannot stand the power of the orc. Orc, this is too much orc in the orc. That's honestly all that bullshit is.
That's what
shut the fuck up.
That's what the orcs do. Man flesh!
Oh,
man
sword. Yeah, they actually do. Literally is what the that's exactly do. So. Yeah. That's the whole thing is that when you're in the heroes, it's just it's really edgelordy. So
we get it. I mean, I get it. They're probably like at least 18 at the youngest. They're kids, I'm assuming. Mm-hmm. BJ had like old man gray beard. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we get it. That's what fucking Wolfenstein's about. Fucking killing Nazis.
Yeah, BJ didn't keep saying that.
No, BJ didn't have to. BJ didn't say shit. He just did it.
But anyways, that being said, despite separating myself from Jim now, I do feel that the protagonists do seem a little tone deaf as well.
Yeah,
in design. Yeah, I think that they're a little too generic.
A little too DMC, don't they?
Two short-haired, edgelordy chicks kicking ass, and I just like, can we have some like creativity in the design of these characters? They legit look like they walked out of fucking Xbox Original and then walked into this game.
Talking about like protagonist from Outrider. No, not on the style, but I feel this is a side piece that I thought of the other day. Mm-hmm. I feel like having the co-op element is going to remove a lot of the exploration.
there's that, maybe. I don't know. What I was going to say, though, on a removed point was, I am glad that it isn't first person, though, so maybe that's why they didn't worry about the design too much, is you're not going to see them too much, so fuck it. But that still is lazy game design if that's the case. But, I don't know, I just think they could have looked a little more razzed up. They're just, I don't know, they just look fine, I guess. Short hair is easy to render because it won't clip through the ground, but I mean, like, you know what I mean? It's like, I
mean, it's a Wolfenstein game, so I'm hyped, and it's co-op, which is cool. Hopefully
I really wish. Here's what I would have wanted. I wish, because in Wolfenstein, like, kind of tongue-in-cheekness, I wish it just would have both looked like BJ with fucking wigs on.
Yes.
Wigs and tits. I wish that there was just BJ with wigs and tits.
Brick chin.
Brick chin. Fucking, like, you know, I think that would have been funnier design. And honestly, I think that would have been more apropos for Wolfenstein. Yeah, because this almost seems to take it a little more seriously than it did in the original one.
Right? Like, because even the current string of Wolfenstein games, they're still very...
It's like someone just watched Inglourious Bastards.
Right? Someone who is under the age of 25
just
saw Inglourious Bastards. Like, fuck Nazis.
All right, but for those of you who are tired of us ranting on that, that's just how I feel. I don't know if you exactly agree, but that's how I feel about it.
Kill Nazis, Wolfenstein.
Yeah,
there's that. That's all I gotta say.
The one I was also excited about, Animal Crossing. John obviously doesn't play Animal Crossing, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this one.
Yeah, I have nothing to say.
It's what I've wanted for a really long time. The new two things: new Pokemon on Switch beyond like Let's Go Eevee, like a real proper sequel, and new Animal Crossing. Those are two things. They're both happening. Exciting. I believe Animal Crossing was originally supposed to come out this year, but hey, for polish, as long as it's good, delayed to March 2020. Fuck it.
Exactly. Who cares?
That's one I probably will pick up alongside.
I don't know if
alongside Final Fantasy VII.
I don't know if this was related to Animal Crossing, but on that note, I saw an article where Nintendo's essentially their stock plummeted, or their potential stock, or something like that. I don't know how the market works, but they put out a little memo that they're gonna, basically take it easy on the devs. And I guess the investors were like...
Was it Nintendo? That happened to somebody, but was it Nintendo?
I thought it was Nintendo, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's Nintendo.
I know that did happen. Yeah, but anyways, basically Nintendo said, regardless of what the company is, but I believe it is Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nintendo said that they were basically not going to pull what a lot of studios are doing, like at 2K and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And Rockstar and all that shit, where they're just like fucking actually abusing, harassing, and beating their employees into submission to finish these games.
Yeah.
Nintendo basically said they will not do that, even if they need to fucking delay games, if they need to cancel games, if they need to, whatever they need
Community
to do
said,
to keep a healthy work environment.
Yeah.
And shareholders, that's what it was.
That's what it is, okay.
I was going to say, because what you're saying doesn't make sense. But what does make sense, though, and I know what you meant, was that shareholders were outraged, because shareholders are basically the people who are pumping the money into the company in exchange for return. With that being the case, they didn't like the fact that Nintendo's basically going to take longer to give them the monies, or maybe not give them as much monies, or whatever the case is, so they hated it.
That's what it was?
Just stupid bullshit. But you're right, though. You're right, yeah. And Nintendo, I'm glad they're taking a stance on that, because a lot of ones are just being like, Rockstar basically, Rockstar and a lot of these other companies that treat their employees like trash are basically just being like, but the game good though, right? And it's just like, at what cost though? It's kind of like we're talking about with Borderlands 3. We're both boycotting it, other than the fact that we're probably going to rent it for review purposes, but we're going to boycott it because we don't want to support it.
No,
it supports Pitchford and a shitty work environment, and we don't want to support either of that. So I mean,
exactly. So good guy Nintendo. Props to you. I hope you don't renege on this. I don't think you will, because you're Nintendo.
Yeah, they won't.
Hopefully
Bowser will see to it.
Yeah, hopefully, right? Good guy Bowser. 2019's fucking wild, man.
Yep. 2020 is going to be even more.
Seriously. But anyway, sorry, just a little aside there.
Very good. No, relevant news. I should have brought that up, actually. Jedi Fallen Order, we got to see a little more gameplay. There's a lot of mixed parties. So that gameplay you saw, I noticed you did like it, right?
I did.
And I didn't necessarily dislike it. It looks even slower to me because I play all those platinum action really fast,
yeah.
But it looked fine to me. But a lot of people watching that stream the whole chat the whole time was just Z, you know.
Really?
Like, everyone fucking was bored to tears over it.
I'm gonna nerd in here for a little bit.
Good.
Remember what I said? Like, fucking Padawan with his light blue lightsaber over here?
Mm-hmm.
Of course he's not gonna go action-packed. He's not a Jedi Master, even a Jedi Knight. Like, I can forgive that from a lore perspective, but if it's an actual gameplay, I can't. Yeah, I get that.
And so the gameplay looks fine, though. It's a weird argument, right? Because people are kind of being like, it looks fine, but it looks boring. And it's just like, we're in that really nitpicky, society now where
it's splitting hairs.
If it's not perfect, it's not good. But the thing is, most things that come out aren't perfect. All the stuff that we remember being perfect is not perfect.
Yeah.
They had their flaws. But anyways, so a lot of people really didn't care for it. A lot of people in the chat were just constantly another thing that people are a little weirded out about is the main protagonist being the dude from Gotham. That's a little weird.
Who?
Joker.
One? Oh, I haven't. I didn't know Joker was in Gotham. Big Batman fan over here. Is Joker in Gotham? I thought they couldn't do that.
Yeah, no, he totally is. I mean, cut lips and more Ledger-esque than anything. But
is Batman in Gotham?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the timeline progresses. Maybe I'll watch it.
It gets good. The first season's awful, but the rest of it's great.
Okay.
I couldn't believe it either. The first one sucked. I hated it.
I like Morena Baccarin's husband as I know, I forget his name.
No, in my head, I just jokingly imagined you saying I liked because what's her name's in it? Will Smith's wife.
Jada Pinkett?
Yeah.
Really?
And she's fucking the worst.
I don't like her as an actor.
So bad. It had nothing to do with that. Like, her character and her delivery were both bad. Equally bad.
Sounds about right.
But, they put an OC and then, yikes.
He is from the
one
OC.
thing I do think that's interesting, rest in peace Visceral Studios, the Dead Space guys, because they were good at doing this.
Fuck, give me Dead Space for somebody.
No, EA won't allow that.
I know.
Because they own the rights and they killed the company, so that's not going to happen. Excuse me. But I like the fact that the droid does actively use the UI and stuff like that, so there's no real pause screen, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Looks cool. Aesthetically looks good. I don't know. I think the game's going to be fine.
Yeah,
Come on. Come on, Respawn. You can do it. Prove everyone wrong. We saw one of the many pre-rendered trailers we got to see, Skull and Bones. Pirates can be cool. It looks like it has the potential. It's by, is it by Ubisoft?
Yeah.
It was by Ubisoft, right?
Singapore, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so I hope it's going to be good because it looks like they're going to go ahead and give Sea of Thieves formula another try and hopefully be good this time. I hope so. The ship parts in fucking Assassin's Creed 4 were the worst fucking things on earth, but hopefully they can do this right. Because the idea of having your own pirate crew together and going into other people's pirate crews and trying to take over the land seems like a cool idea.
It's cool. I like that. Singapore knows piracy.
So there you go.
Back in the day, and it's interesting. I think it's going to be fun.
Looks nice and photorealistically gritty.
It makes me remember when Pirates was cool before Johnny Depp became all Johnny Depp.
I thought you were going to say before Pirates, the other movie came out.
There's another Pirates movie. What do you?
The porno.
Oh yes. Took me a minute there. I was like, oh, yeah.
I was about to be really surprised if you had actually no idea what I was talking about.
Back in the days when porno movies try to be all
actually big
Hollywood.
Budget.
Yeah, right.
Actually big budget.
I know.
There's that.
It's just people fucking.
Now here's one. Here we go. Hot topic coming up.
I love Hot Topic.
Avengers, Square Enix Avengers game came out and they dropped their E3 demo. So should I go into the things or do you want to? No, you know what? I don't want to taint you because what I have here is not going to change.
Yeah.
Opinion first.
I mean, it looks great. If I heard right, that's Troy Baker as Iron Man. So
yeah, they have a great voice acting crew.
Yeah. It's not the actual cast from Avengers though, so it's gonna suck. All right, whatever. It looks cool. Very. I mean, just from that preview, I can already tell you Cap's probably not dead, and A-Day seems a little silly. It looks fine. I'm curious to see how it's going to play out. Like, if you can switch between the Avengers, like, go smash things as Hulk, or if it's going to be procedural as it goes by. Like, you have to be Iron Man for this, and then you have to be Thor for this. And
valid concerns.
What's Black Widow going to do? Just stand there and shoot things? Like, okay, cool. Yeah, I love Avengers all the way. I'm excited for it. Go on.
All right. here's why I'm not. And this is why I wanted you to go first, because you always have to do that. And innocently, and because you don't know what I know, those are fair. And as a fan, those are fair outlooks.
Oh, fuck.
I know, right? I gave you the little baby pat and be like, here you go.
Here we go. All right, let me sit up for this one.
So here's several things. It was all a pre-rendered trailer. You didn't say this. I'm to make it clear, I'm not being like, John, you were wrong, because you didn't say any of this. But to those who fell for it in the trailer, none of that was gameplay. When they pan the camera behind them and they're doing the blasts, or Black Widow's running and doing some flips, all that shit, all they did was move the camera behind them to make it look like gameplay, because they didn't have real gameplay ready. So there was no gameplay in that trailer, despite the fact that they just tried to make it look like it, and they never said it was, so they can't get in trouble because they didn't say. They just had a weird gameplay camera angle, but
people
it wasn't. People would just assume.
Yeah.
But man, and here's the thing that. So, I think to say that it's not really them because of the voices is stupid, but aesthetically, they chose a very bad look because they basically took the MCU models and changed all their faces and voices.
Yeah.
Which is not good. This is why they should have just done completely new costumes. It could still be an Avengers game. The game would have been better if they went the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 route. Or Ultimate Alliance in general, where it's just based on their actual comic models, not the movie versions.
Taking Ultimate, just use Ultimate Avengers, Ultimate models.
Whatever they wanted to do. Yeah. Anything but using the MCU movies would have been better.
Because he looks
because
like
now they all look
Raphael's Banner.
They all look like Mexican bootleg versions of the Avengers now. It looks like Los Avengers. That's exactly what it looks like. It looks like I went to the flea market and found these figures. It's not as bad as when Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was finally announced, and Iron Man in the trailer looked like his face was melting because there was some weird graphical issue with how Iron Man looked in that trailer. Not quite that fucked up in a different way, but it looks like, you know what I mean? It looks like you're watching the porno version of Avengers.
Yeah.
But a bootleg version of the porno version. So that's even worse.
Oof.
So that was the first issue I had with it, is why did you do that?
Like,
I see that saying the voices thing is fucking stupid, but the models, the fact that I can tell that's fucking Ruffalo, obviously.
Yeah, with the hair and everything. That's Age of Ultron.
They should have just remodeled everybody. I don't know why they did. That was a bad move in my opinion.
No, I agree.
Here's where it gets. Now that's just that was the cream. Now to get to the shit. The first thing that they did announce, of course, is that the DLC's free.
Oh fuck! No, it's not.
No, it is. Because it's on a roadmap.
There it is. There it is.
Taking the live services model, Avengers will ship incomplete with the first bit probably half-assed done. It'll probably be like Anthem. Oh, Destiny, whatever.
I'm out.
Same difference.
I'm out.
And so it will be a live service. And here's the thing. The DLC's free, guys. The DLC's free, guys. Gonna have fucking microtransactions at the asshole.
I'm out. Come on, Square. You're supposed to be better than this. I'm out.
So there's that.
Fuck you guys.
The Pitchford model they used in the pitch.
No, not that DLC.
Where they were just like,
that DLC.
Yeah, basically they were like, guys, the DLC's free. Like this. You want a new colored Iron Man? Do you want to play as Rhodey? On the plus side of things regarding Marvel Ultimate Alliance looks like a lot of fun. It looks like it's going to be really great.
They did the story right.
It looks cool. The selections of characters look great. They didn't do them after movie versions.
It looks like
it'll have a pretty fleshed out roster. I'm excited.
You know what I noticed in that trailer? The one where they're noting the properties that they use. The X-Men logo they used is for 90s animated series X-Men.
Correct.
So that makes me wonder.
They're probably going to use that model, like yellow, blue Wolverine and shit like that.
Hype. X-Men animated series is the best. Sorry, Fox. It's Fox, right? Yeah, Fox is. Logan's great. Wolverine's been great.
Hugh Jackman, love.
Yeah, you wasted him in Age of Apocalypse though. What a mistreatment of Weapon X storyline. Really, right. That one little cameo, fuckers. But my thing in that, it'd be cool if they are using that property, that IP, when you introduce the X-Men in that game, if they use the original intro.
Yes.
You know?
That would be interesting.
That'd be tight.
So, yeah, we'll see. So that looks good. Banjo confirmed in Smash Brothers. something that people have literally been asking since Brawl came out.
I love that fucking gif of King Cruel and Diddy and fucking...
Yeah, they're welcoming their homie.
Hyping it up, yeah.
Yeah, so that's interesting. The rare homies are reunited.
That's hype.
Of course, very part of the multiple things that Microsoft is doing for Nintendo, because Microsoft does own Banjo, so doing the old, Cane Peel handshake homies and the homies, and they're, giving them Banjo. And Microsoft did say, I forgot it was Phil Spencer, just a rep in general, did say that it was one of the easiest decisions to ever make. Naturally, he belongs in Smash. We give him to Smash. So,
cough, Sony, cough.
Funny you say that, actually, because that has a lot to do with the next story. But
I wonder how much they had to give to fucking Konami to get Snake.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Well, to be fair, they got the rights to Snake back in the other
NES.
Yeah, so no, not just that, but the first time he appeared in Smash on GameCube. So I mean, he's already been there before. So this is his second time appearing. So they already had the rights to him then.
Did Brawl come out on GameCube?
Melee did. Melee.
He wasn't in Melee, was he? Snake?
Which one came out first?
Melee.
Melee came out first.
Melee's the
he's
GameCube.
in Brawl.
Yeah, he's in Brawl.
So yeah,
that's
he's
what
in
I'm
Brawl.
saying. Yeah, back then, like what? I guess,
so they still have the rights to him. So
no, I'm just saying back in the day, because
Yeah, but my point was that Konami wasn't that shitty back then.
Ah, that's okay.
That's what I'm saying.
That's true. Yeah.
Which leads to our next story, which is the fact that now this is very much a rumor article, but apparently, according to a insider interview with someone from Microsoft, at one point they had an interest, back when the Master Chief Collection was first announced, to actually have it on PS4 as well. Of course, like many things, they couldn't come to an agreement with Sony, because either Sony didn't want it on there, or they didn't want to pay for it, or whatever the case may be. Yeah. And thus that happened. But yeah.
I don't know how to process that. That'd be cool, for the PlayStation loyals, but it seems almost blasphemous. Me and my friends in the Halo community agree, without Halo, there'd pretty much be no Xbox. Xbox is their flagship title, it's his home.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. It'd be interesting as fuck, but it would feel wrong,
right, from a fan point of view.
Yeah, inside I would feel like I'm doing something wrong, like playing Halo on the PlayStation.
Right.
This doesn't feel right. But interesting?
Yeah, I mean, maybe... We don't know if there's any grounds to that, but that was apparently a thing.
343's fucking everything up anyway, so might as well make that last leap.
Right. Let's see. Cadence of Hyrule recently dropped. It's from the people who made Crypt of the Necrodancer, which are both of these games I'm saying are probably two things a lot of people have never heard about, especially the latter. But it's an interesting music rhythm-based roguelike game. So you're going around kind of defeating the enemies and doing that stuff to the rhythm of the music that's playing. Has a very good soundtrack.
Cool.
And it's really good stuff. And it's also interesting because it's one of the only Zelda games that I can think of that doesn't have the Zelda branding at all, and it's just called Cadence of Hyrule. So they're not writing on the Zelda brand to sell a Zelda game, but it does look really cool. And if there's anything like Crypt of the Necrodancer, which I really do like, should be good stuff.
It's on my wish list. I always wonder what it was, because...
Crypt of the Necrodancer?
Yeah, because, obviously Necromancer, but I was like, it seems interesting, wish list, and then it's just sitting there.
Yeah, no, it's good, though. In fact, I think it's on big-time sale right now on Steam, so... Torchlight 2, very awesome Diablo, like one of the best Diablo clones ever, is going to be coming out. It's originally a PC game that's being ported out to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, so that's going to be a really fun one, especially on the Switch. Microsoft has announced that they are interested in buying a Japanese company. They recently picked up Double Fine, and basically what Microsoft's agenda is to... and if they keep their good guy status up, this wouldn't seem like such a bad thing. Back in thinking of just corporate Microsoft, this would be a scary idea, but now it seems like possibly a good thing, is they're trying to buy all these studios to expand their resume, essentially. To expand their specialties. They know that they lack in the Japanese market, and the Japanese fucking hate the Xbox because they sell like 3 consoles every time they launch one.
Why is
because
that?
They have no interest. Because think about the games that are on Xbox. The Japanese people give no fucks about any of those type of games.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like first-person shooters is probably the least played game ever in fucking Japan.
I think that's why I default whenever I see like something with the Japanese art style, like a JRPG. I think, oh, it's PlayStation exclusive. Like, remember as Ghostwire, that's going to be a PlayStation exclusive? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's why.
Yeah. But yeah, so it'd be interesting. Maybe if they didn't mess up their chance with Platinum, that could have been a thing. So it's a bit ironic now that they want to pick up a Japanese company when they were working with one of the best ones. But the dude, I forgot his name. So, like head honcho over at Platinum said, they do take part of the responsibility as well for Scalebound being canceled because perhaps they were being a bit difficult on their end and their demands.
No, it's Phil Spencer.
There's that. Final Fantasy VII has a collaboration with Seiko watches coming out. They're going to be dropping two $2,500 watches, really? One in silver and one in black stainless steel. So that is very interesting. They both look really, really sharp, so I am very excited for that. And another thing that, in terms of news of E3, that going to something that didn't happen... Oh, I thought I heard something. Going on something that didn't happen was that Splinter Cell apparently isn't going to be a thing. So we had that weird kerfuffle with the creator of Splinter Cell and... Ubisoft, where they basically said no, it's just a prank. It looks like it actually might be leaning towards that side, even though we thought that on the other side it was probably the opposite. So we'll see. I don't know. It's an odd one, but
that's kind of disappointing. I'm looking at this watch like I'm going to drop $2,500 on.
Oh yeah, but yeah. So there's that.
So.
It'll be interesting. I mean, it's still possible that it's delayed or they're just, like, now not wanting to announce it at E3 because the other guy said it was going to be at E3, so now they're trying to pull a whole we say when it's released, not you type of thing.
So we don't know.
Or it could be canceled. But it's weird. It's weird. We really expected to see Splinter Cell there because of that leak, but maybe the guy just lost his mind.
Yeah.
Just Dance 2020, of course, it's an inaugural series, so of course it's going to be announced. An annual series, excuse me. Yeah. So of course it's going to be announced. Another sequel. Just Dance is fine. It's a fun game to play with friends or people who normally don't like playing video games.
It's like Madden or FIFA. It comes out every year.
It's going. They announced what it's going to be out on, and of course it's going to be on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and the Wii.
Wii U.
The Wii. Yep.
Why?
So because every Just Dance game has come out on the Wii, so they're still doing that. So
that's neat.
How many games were announced for the 3DS at E3? Zero. How many games were announced for the Wii in 2019 E3? One. So there are more games announced for original Wii than 3DS. So that shows you where the support is on 3DS for that one.
Damn Nintendo! Why do you gotta be like that?
Before E3 and as we are in the post, it is obviously confirmed that Nintendo did say and reiterate several times that the new rumored models, according to them, this is just a rumor, the new rumored budget and pro version of the Switches would not be making an appearance at E3. Sure enough, they didn't, so they kept their word on that. Hollow Knight, Silk Song looks really cool. I'm excited for that sequel to one of my favorite games, Hollow Knight. Very fun Metroidvania style game with a really, really cool art style and a great soundtrack. So that made an appearance. So that's very, very, very fun. A lot of rumor wondering because it appeared at the Xbox conference if Fantasy Star Online 2 was going to be an Xbox exclusive. The developers did confirm, for people not to worry, it is not an Xbox exclusive. They just showed it at the showcase, as they do several games that are shown at PlayStation or Xbox showcases where they're not exclusive, they just show them there because they choose to be a little more affiliated with that brand than not.
Okay, cool.
Phil Spencer said in post E3 that in his opinion, E3 is actually better with Sony there, now that they've experienced 2 E3s now without Sony. He did say that it's a little lonely without them, to not have their direct competitor there, for everything to be a little... He didn't say that it's too positive. That's not what he was necessarily saying, but I kind of got that vibe a little bit, where he's kind of like, the back and forth and the banter really wasn't there, because you just had Sony tweeting their news from afar, and they weren't at the conference, and everyone else, Nintendo, Ubisoft, and so on and so forth, were all actually in the building, having their days where they each had their conferences.
It's nice to have a competent rival.
Yep. So, he did say it's a little sad that they couldn't be there. He said E3 is a better place when Sony and PlayStation are actually there. So,
humble guy Xbox.
So, we'll see.
Right,
yeah. Recently, an interview with one of the execs at Epic Games mentioned that Fortnite was actually almost canceled. It went through several iterations. As much I know, the gameplay that Fortnite is now was completely different from what it was originally planned to be.
Yeah.
And they did mention that at some point during development, because of the difficulties in the genre switching, that they pretty much were about to just call it quits and cancel it.
Damn it.
Of course, they didn't, and it became the absolute billion-dollar phenomenon that it is now, being one of the biggest games on the planet at the moment, with more active players on Twitch than pretty much any other game combined. So there's that. But yeah, apparently Fortnite was almost canceled, but you know.
Makes me wonder, would Ninja exist if Fortnite wasn't a thing?
Who knows? No, Ninja would not actually. Yeah. So there's that. Fortnite Epic Games also addressed that the possibility for PS4 and Xbox crossplay on Fortnite is still a possibility, but that one of the parties is still being a bit difficult about the conversation. So every
come on, Xbox,
try to bring it back and push it through. They have mentioned that it is a tough conversation every single time.
Why? But why?
They also mentioned that it's a weird fear, right? That PlayStation has this weird little dick syndrome where they're like scared that if they see the other penis, that the girlfriend will no longer want their penis. Like, it's a weird type of thing where they're just like, they have better exclusives than Microsoft could even think of. What are they scared of to cross with? Like
I don't get. Maybe it's that whole.
They're winning in everything except for the hardware department. I mean, some semi-hardware support department. So it's like,
I don't get it.
It's weird. And Epic Games also did announce that Fortnite will be having a crossover event with Stranger Things. Interesting they call it a crossover event, because a special event would just imply that Stranger Things themed things are going to be in Fortnite.
Yeah, what's
crossover event would imply that Fortnite's going to make an appearance in Stranger Things, which would destroy the canon.
Yeah, this is 1984.
It is a fictional 1984, so what I'm thinking they're doing is they could make a SNES Fortnite that they're going to have, like, the kids playing.
I haven't played Polybius, though.
Did I just say SNES? Excuse me, I meant NES.
I was going to say, wait a minute now.
So, there's that.
Cool. Can I have a Demogorgon skin for that game I don't play, but would like to
see? They probably will do that, or there'll be an event where you're fighting them or whatever.
Make it the kid with the teeth and have him get beat up because he wants to... Do you hear about that prank show he was doing?
No.
Some stupid shit he's going to do? It's dumb.
Persona 5 Royal. We got to see a nice fleshed out trailer. It looks great. Persona games are always good and stylish, so it's nice to see bigger... fleshed out version like they like to do, like Persona 4 Golden.
I was going to ask you about that.
What's up?
Came to mind when we were watching that. Is like the cutscene just like an anime clip, like in that, or was that just rendered for the preview we saw?
Those are the cutscenes.
Okay,
the cutscenes are all hand drawn. Yeah.
Wow, that's really fleshed out.
Yeah, no, it's really nice. It's cool.
Yeah.
So that looks really, really good. That should be exciting. Persona 5's Joker is also going to be a guest character in the repackage of the Catherine game, Catherine Full Body.
Really?
So that'll be interesting that he's going to be in there. I mean, it's both Athlete games, so I mean, it's not like it's a guest character per se, but it is a guest in terms of cross games.
That's
so
cool.
There's that.
He's in Smash now, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah. Yep, he was the first DLC character to be announced, with now Banjo following him, so... There's that. Cyberpunk 2077 looks great.
You're breathtaking.
Not much to say about that.
That's it. That's all you have to say. Wraps it up right there.
One of the interesting things that one of the heads at CD Projekt Red did say, because we did contemplate this on the last podcast, where I specifically asked, is this Keanu thing been in the pipeline for a while? Is this like because of John Wick mania, whatever the case may be?
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. The head at CG Projekt Red did say that this did just blossom about a year ago, so obviously 5 years into Cyberpunk's development already.
Mm-hmm.
And he did say that he did want to do a celebrity cameo, and that the first person came to mind was Keanu, and he basically said, if we can't get Keanu, then maybe we'll just like nix the whole cameo idea and blah blah blah. I'm severely paraphrasing, but anyways. But eventually they approached him. Apparently Keanu is very cool, very nice guy, and agreed to do it. Even if Keanu had the most awkward panel at E3. If you want to talk about someone who has no idea what the fuck they're talking about, like narrating your dad to talk about the Final Fantasy VII narrative, it's like that.
Yeah.
Like, Keanu had no idea what's happening, he didn't know why people were cheering, and he had no idea what the fuck he's doing in that game. All he knows is he's in game that people are hyped about. So he didn't lie about it. I mean, he admittedly was lost as fuck. So there's that.
Yeah, he's just kind of there.
Yeah, there's the answer to the question though. For anyone who was wondering, like me, why is Keanu there? How long has Keanu been considered there? There you know. Now we know.
Wait, but is it directly because of John Wick hype, or is it just they look?
He didn't say that part. He just mentioned that he has been a big fan of him for since The Matrix. He said so. There's that.
Oh, us real Keanu fans have been on the boats.
Well, he didn't say that that's when he first became a major. He's saying that that's what made him think of it for 2077.
Being dumb.
You and your fake Twitter. You spend too much time on Twitter. That's the problem.
I do.
Let's see. Speaking of Twitter, Nintendo's lawyers have come after a very infamous Nintendo news leaker on their Polar Panda, so he is in some fun times ahead.
Jesus,
with Nintendo's legal team going after him.
Nintendo doesn't play.
And so there's that. And finally, the final news on the docket, without Windows 10 fucking pissing me off and just keeps popping up, fuck it, I guess. So this has been a continuing controversy for a really long time now, from its Kickstarter inception to now, but Shenmue 3 continuing to be a very questionable and bad game in hot water right now. So Shenmue 3 was first announced years ago, or around at the same time that Final Fantasy VII Remake was announced officially, because I made that little video that did get kind of popular that went out where I was watching the Final Fantasy VII, doing a reaction video to that, and then getting disappointed at the end that it wasn't Shenmue 3. So that happened. But Shenmue 3 did several shady moves and just did another one now. The initial shady moves is the fact that they had a Kickstarter, even though Sony was bankrolling the game already.
Mm-hmm.
So why did they need a Kickstarter? That would be like Microsoft launching a Kickstarter for the next Halo.
Yeah.
Why? So they collected millions of dollars. They reached their goal in no time and surpassed it big time. And so I'm glad. At the time, I felt bad I missed on backing it, and then now I'm so glad I didn't. But anyways, so they first they did that Kickstarter, collected the money, then announced Sony was publishing it anyway. So okay, why did they do the Kickstarter? So they did that, and that was already shady. What did they do recently? Well, they recently announced that, despite the fact that the game already was kickstarted and announced a long time ago, it was not the first game to do this, but they announced that despite the fact that when it was originally launched, the Epic Games Store did not exist, therefore it was going to default to a Steam game, that it's now an Epic Store exclusive. So now they have a third pot of money that they've now taken into their bank accounts by making it an Epic Games Store exclusive on PC. So, yeah.
So it's taking so long.
Well, that's a game taking long. Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts 3 both took 10 years to make. But, that's true, yeah. I mean, they're good. Shenmue 3, I mean, the Shenmue series has always been debated whether or not people just have, what's that called? Like rose-tinted lenses or whatever. Because mechanically and technically overall, they're pretty shitty games. I personally I am blinded by that nostalgia, so I do kind of like miss them. But yeah, I mean, objectively, they're bad games. So there's why the question of that. It's like Yakuza perfected what Shenmue always tried to be. Okay. And but one of the things that's like infuriating people is the fact that despite that Shenmue 3 is a big lie on PC now because they just switched the platform like that, people who are requesting a refund, which should normally be honored, are being denied. And so no refunds are going to be given. They're basically like, well, get it on Epic. You're getting it still. It's just on Epic now.
Are they going to get it for free because they backed it?
No, because when you back it, you paid for it. So...
No, I mean, but like, do they automatically get the...
Yeah, if they download Epic Games Launcher, yeah. So, what do you... I realize that this doesn't sounds weird to you probably because you're not, too much on PC.
Yeah.
But think about the fact that you have all your stuff on Steam and then now you're being forced to get this other thing now.
Okay.
Just to play the one game or two games.
The one game you want to play,
yeah.
Okay.
It's annoying because most PC gamers want to have everything all in one library, It'd be like having your games on like 3 different PS4s. Like, why?
Like Halo 1 is on Xbox, Halo 2 is on PlayStation, Halo 3 is on Nintendo. So I gotta get
and that's the only way you can play them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay.
In a way. Yep. So there's that. I don't know. They've been really. It's bad. It's really bad. It's all a scam essentially. I mean, the Outer Wilds did it, and a few other games, and it's just not right. You can't just pull the rug under people just because times have changed or because you got a fatter check. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, if the game is bad, that's going to be the shit icing on. That's going to be the shit icing on the shit cake. You have a good example of a game that was kickstarted on great dreams and then plummeted hardcore was Mighty Number 9. You know, Keiji Inafune ruined his reputation with that game because, you know, he basically said, "You guys want more Mega Man because they're not letting me make more Mega Man," and people were like, "Yeah, well, give me the monies. We'll get you a new Mega Man. It won't be called Mega Man, but that's fine." And people would have been okay with that.
Yeah,
but the game was shit. It's a fucking shittily put together game with terrible acting, bad graphics, dated controls. Like, everything was just shitty about it. And so if Shenmue 3 is bad, it's going to go down in history as one of the biggest scams of all time, essentially.
Bigger than Fallout 76?
Oh, much bigger.
Do you think this is because Epic's trying to be the, monopolize that?
Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that the developers at Shenmue or Sony had to sign off on it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's really bad. So, you know, that's the main topic right there. It's like, how do developers, because you sign a contract filled with asterisks as a consumer, do the developers have the right to pull these moves on you?
The right? Like the legal right? Yeah. Morally? No, it's really shitty, like you said. Now you're forcing the hand of anyone who wants to play this game. And by that, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are going to play it and download the Epic app.
Yeah.
But most people are just going to be like, oh, fuck it, I don't want to put up with this now.
Yep, and they just threw away their money, basically. It's fucked up.
No.
But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys have any opposing sides? Do you guys have sides that maybe backs the developers of Shenmue's move to take that deal? Are you in agreement that, you know, it's obviously wrong and that things like that should not be legally backed and there should be forced refunds, etc.? Let us know what you think. You can shoot us an email at disconnectedcastmail@gmail.com. Once again, that's disconnectedcastmail@gmail.com. And where can all our lovely listeners find you, Mr. John?
You can find me at Evil Dead Guy on Twitter and at DisasterMan_music on Instagram. I'm going to start doing that again.
There you go. And you can find me on at ZDRocker on pretty much any social media platform, including Twitter, Instagram, Discord, yada, yada, yada. You can find all my other projects at www.slimasianentertainment.com. And you can also find all our episodes, past, future, and present of Disconnected Cast at disconnectedcast.com. Until next week, we will catch you guys later. We'll see what the news week spins back into now that we're done with E3 coverage. And until then, we'll see you later.
Have a good one, y'all.